Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom.
They tried to pick play Al. They tried to go here, but he beats him to the punch. And I'm sorry, but I can't believe the call. I cannot believe the call. You've got Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. You've got a guy that's been borderline unstoppable in this part of the field. I can't believe They tried to pick play Al. They tried to go here, but he beats him to the punch. And I'm sorry, but I can't believe the call. I cannot believe the call. You've got Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. You've got a guy that's been borderline unstoppable in this part of the field. I can't believe the call.
And there's Brady.
All right. Honor, praise, and glory be to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahakodash Wakad, double honors to the apostles and the elders at the great millstone, peace and blessings to the faithful elect, those slated to be saved from the destruction that's been declared to come upon America and different parts of the globe, but primarily here, America, and to all the wicked inhabitants hereof. People that will be saved, declare also by the Bible, in the Bible, from the beginning, will be none. We're going to be none other than the Israelites, who today are called so-called blacks, Latinos, aka Negroes, West Indians, Seminole Indians, Native American Indians, Afro, fill in the blank. The men teaching the truth of the Bible, the true doctrine of the Bible, the true doctrine of who people ignorantly call God in Christ, Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and the men, women, and children also that have turned back to their heritage, the true doctrine of the Bible, the Israelites that have done that and are in the doctrine, in the faith, according to their works. Shalom. So as you see, this is how you can end up being pretty much if you don't take heed to what you know. This is what this lesson will be titled by the Spirit, Lord willing, is edifying. Take heed to what you know, or else deal with the repercussions. All right. So yeah, man, it says a double-minded, James 1:8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So before I get into it, pretty much you got scenarios that you find yourself in. You got scenarios that you find yourself in your day-to-day basis when you you know what to do. You know, it's like if you cut yourself, you know to bandage it, you know to put pressure upon it, apply pressure, you know to put peroxide on it, clean it to the best, to what you know. That's you. That would be you taking heed. Take heed to what you know, because if you don't do that, you probably can get infected, it bleed out, it get, or whatever, you just never know what the repercussion could be. So real quick, this is repercussion. It says an unintended consequence occurring sometime after an event or action. And that's what happens when you pretty much, who you are dealing with, but yet you try to deal with a person or a situation and the way that you know that you don't know versus the way that you do know. And that's let me get this real quick. First Corinthians in the 14th chapter and the 40th verse. It says, let all things be done decently and order. Now, when you go into the word order, because people don't know what the scripture talking about, if you ain't really looked into it, but it says order. It says the arrangement or disposition of people or things in relation to each other according to a particular sequence, pattern, or method. And it's much more simple. Salakia. It's much more than it, it sounds. But anyway, it says the arrangement or disposition of people. So order is going into the arrangement or disposition of people. So somebody that has a certain arrangement, they have a certain disposition, let's get the word disposition real quick. It says a person's inherent qualities of mind and character and inclination of tendency. It says the way in which something is placed or arranged, especially in relation to other things. Okay, so it's pretty much a person's disposition is their qualities, their mind, their character, their traits, their makeup, constitution, their temper, mentality, humor, nature, just the type of person they are. That's a disposition, or how you are, or how you may be in a particular moment, how a moment may be, the disposition of a moment, the disposition of time of a person. So when you going into do all things decently in order, it's saying do it according to the moment and according to who you dealing with. Do what though? Decently. All right, let's get this real quick. So when you're going to decently in a way that conforms, you see that, with generally accepted standards or respectable or moral behavior. So if you see in the clip we played in the beginning, you on the 1 yard line. They even said it. You got Marshawn Lynch, who's been basically unstoppable. I'm sure his average is more than a yard a carry for those who familiar with football. He can pick up more than a yard for you every time you give him the ball to run it, to gain. He's going to get at least a yard on average, right? So if you're on the 1 yard line, that's when you will apply doing all things decently in order. The disposition of this moment is that it don't take much. It only takes a yard to score and seal this game. So you will be going about the moment in regards to that being the disposition. The disposition, once again, being you only need a yard. Now who's also included in the moment? Marshawn Lynch. His disposition is that he's gonna get at least a yard. You see what I'm saying? Every time he touches the ball. So you will apply in that moment this scripture. Do all things decently, let all things be done decently in order. And when you're doing something decently, it says in a way that conforms with generally accepted standards or respectable moral or moral behavior. So you will conform to what the moment requires. You see what I'm saying? What the disposition requires. You will conform to the disposition of the moment and the person that you have that can get this done, which would be simply running the ball by giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch to simply score. That would be doing things decently in order. Because when you're doing something decently, you're conforming to something that's generally accepted. Thus, order, the arrangement or disposition of people or things in relation to each other. So simply, once you go back into disposition, and we're gonna dumb this down, it says a person's inherent qualities of mind and character. Marshawn Lynch is known as beast mode. He trucks, he doesn't go down easy, etc. So the moment is a moment where you conform to that. We're in a moment where the game is on the line. We only need 1 yard. Let me just get this dude the ball and we're gonna run it. That's what everybody's expecting, and that's what you know. Because the title of this lesson is what? Take heed to what you know. You know this man a beast. You know you only need 1 yard, and you know this what he do. And you know it's this what everybody's expecting. Who's gonna throw the ball in that moment? Somebody that's not gonna take heed to what they know. And otherwise they're going and resulting, they're going to deal with the repercussion and unintended consequence. You see? But we know games rigged and stuff like that. But let's just say it's real life. Whatever. You're not trying to lose the game, but since you didn't conform to the moment, you didn't take heed to what you know. You only need 1 yard, and Marshawn Lynch can get it done. He's gonna get it done. Now you're faced to deal with the repercussions, which is an unintended consequence occurring sometime after an event or action, especially an unwelcome one. And what's the consequences what's the consequence after that happened? Pete Carroll likes an idiot. He looks like an idiot now. He got to live without the rest of his life. He can't get that moment back, because some moments you can't get back, man. So this is why this is, heavy to know. So let all things be done decently in order. It's saying you conform and you take heed to what you know. So if you're talking to somebody who it's like you're not gonna try to take your girl or whoever it may be to a place you're not gonna try to give a baby the baby's disposition. You're not gonna try to give a newborn, a damn candy bar, some a piece of steak. You're gonna feed the baby decently, meaning you're gonna conform. Okay, this is a baby that he or she is not on solid milk. Solid foods. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna conform to the baby's disposition, which is the order part. That's the inherent qualities of the baby. They are able to consume liquid as infants. They don't have teeth. You see what I'm saying? And thus it's going to result in the baby staying alive and the baby successfully being fed. But if you don't go about it in that way, you won't be taking heed to what you know, and you're going to, deal with the repercussions. All right. Now, and it's so funny because you got people who think they know this type of shit and they fucking don't. This is the reason why I'm doing this, because you see time and time again, people walking around with lack of common sense that the Bible clearly gives you and deals with. So we're going to go ahead and move on. This is James 1:1-8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. All right. Now let's get the word unstable real quick. All right. Unstable. It says prone to change, fail, or give way, not stable. So you're not going to talk to somebody. You're not going to try to talk to somebody in the morning that's not a morning person. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to try to, I said, pass the goddamn ball when you got Marshawn. You already know you're going to conform, man. You're going to take heed to what you know, because when you don't do that, it's going to cause an issue. You're trying to deal with the person outside of their characteristics. You're trying to deal with the moment outside of what it is, man. You see what I'm saying? Take heed to what you know, or else deal with the repercussions, man. You need to take heed to what you know. You know this person is no good in this moment. This person is not to be trusted, but yet you trust them. Now you're dead and you're on the news. You see what I'm saying? You know these two people don't get along. You try to bring them together. You know they don't deal with you over there. You know they don't like hearing the word, but you keep trying to bring it out to them. So whatever the result, but you know this. So take heed to that. But yet you don't, and thus it results in failure, repercussion, which is an unintended consequence. You don't know what could come out of that, and it's an effect. It's an outcome, man. You see. And the only people that's going to do this is a double-minded person. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Yeah, you know the right thing to do, but you don't take heed to it. You know what this moment requires. You know how you need to deal with this person. You know what don't work. You know you can't try this with this person. You see what I'm saying? You know this baby can't chew his food, but yet you don't take heed to that. And now you're just going to deal with whatever the repercussions may be, because I can't tell you that. Shit is always subjective, to, what the Lord deems fit. It's judgment. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, in the 5th chapter, the 12th verse, if thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. Yeah, so if you know you got the answer in the search situation, you got the word somebody need to hear, but you don't give them to them. You don't take heed, man. I know this dude is in dire need of help right now. I know he don't know this. And I know he's asking me, but yeah, I ain't gonna give it to him. Now, next time you wake up in the morning, so-and-so dead or some shit like that, man. You see what I'm saying? If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. See, if thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. Yeah, you don't know the answer, but you try to, hack up some bull crap. You try to tell somebody how to get to this state. Yeah, you could just take the overpass and now they end up falling. You tell them to go down the street you never went through. And it's a black, dark ass dead end. You're like, yeah, you just keep going. Now, not knowing that's a bridge under construction. They go off the bridge or some shit. You didn't take heed to knowing that you don't know even how to get there. You see what I'm saying? But yet you still answered your neighbor. So now that can bring forth what? Since you didn't take heed to knowing that, you got to deal with those repercussions, whatever it may come out of. So when you know something, you got to act like you know it, man. You see what I'm saying? Yahushua says this, Luke 19:22, and he said unto him, out of thy own mouth will I judge thee. You see that? Thou wicked servant, thou knewest, see that I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. So it says, wherefore then, so basically Yahushua, he goes on to get on dude's ass, and dude is he's finished. And what is the main thing Yahushua pointed out to him? And he said unto him, out of thine own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. Thou knewest I was an austere man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Yeah, I left you to do the work. You know how I get down. You knew it was expected, but you didn't take heed. So now you finna deal with the repercussions of being cast out or cast into outer darkness, bro. You see that? So Yahushua is on this level. This is his level. You're supposed to take heed to what you know, or else deal with the repercussions, man. You know what the scriptures tell you. Him that knoweth to do his Lord's will shall be beat with few that didn't know shall be with fewer stripes, but the one that did, he gonna be beat with more, man. Paraphrasing. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to take heed to what you know, or else deal with the repercussions. If you know you need to fast, you see what I'm saying? If you know you need to fast and you ain't doing, if you know you need to pray, if you know you need to ask questions, if you know you need to stop being full of shit, if you know you need to change a trait, if you know you need to just whatever you need to take heed to, man. It ain't nothing specific. It ain't no this, it ain't nothing. It's just the spirit, Because I see a lot of stuff and I don't say shit a lot of times, and I got to. You see, that's why I say, going back here, Sirach 5 and 12, if thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor. If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. You know? But anyway, this is Sirach 5 and 10. It says, be steadfast in thy understanding, and let thy word be the same. Yeah. You know, that deal with these women, you know how to deal with your man, but yet you know where y'all bump heads at, where you don't, but yet you don't take heed to that. You know how you need to come. You know about this. You know to do, you know the Lord requires, this is a commandment. Let all things be done decently in order. Once again, when you go back into decently in a way that conforms with generally accepted standards or respectable or moral behavior, that would be being decent. You see, you're conforming to what it's like. If you burp out loud, you're supposed to say, excuse me. But at home, you probably wouldn't say it or whatever because ain't nobody around. Let's just for instance. But out loud in public, you would, because that would be being decent. You see, that would be having some decency. You see, so you want to conform to whatever will be accepted. You see what I'm saying? But in what moment? When it's according to whatever the disposition may be. You know, if you're around people that got high manners, you want to conform to that, because if you don't, that's gonna be an issue. Y'all gonna bump heads. You see what I'm saying? If you in the library, you see what I'm saying, and you get a phone call, you're not gonna be on the phone like you at home. You're gonna let all things be done decently in order. I mean, you're gonna conform. You see what I'm saying, to what would be decent, what would be accepted in that and respectable in that moment, because the disposition of that moment is that you at the library and everyone's quiet here. The library is quiet, including all the people, and also the disposition of these people. On average, everybody there usually know that you go to a library and be quiet. You don't talk loud. But if you don't, what is that going to cause? That will actually be you not taking heed to knowing that, if you know that, and you going to cause an issue. So that's going to be a repercussion right there. So anyway, we'll go ahead and move on and close this out. So you want to be steadfast in your understanding and let thy word be the same. You don't want to be double-minded. Well, I knew to do this. I knew we don't really, but I didn't know. You knew what to do. You know it's going to cause an issue. You know what can result. You got to stay key to what you know, man. If you know you may need to, you need to stop eating at a certain point, because every time you don't, your stomach start hurting or something like that, But yet I wasn't sure if it was me just tweaking all these years or whatever. That's you being double-minded, man. And you no longer taking heed. So now you're going to result to whatever, you're going to deal with whatever the repercussion would be. And Lord willing, this is edifying, man. I'm going to close out in a second. This is John 13 and 17. See, if ye know these things, happy are ye if ye do them. You see what I'm saying? If ye know these things, happy are ye if ye do them. Because what will happen if you don't do them? Madness. Outright madness. So you're not going to try to go in the airport with a gun on you to try to go through the damn scanner things, whatever them things called, TSA and all that, whatever it is. They're going to pin you down, arrest you, and you're going to be in jail, and you ain't going to be happy, man, because you didn't take heed to knowing they check you before you go in. So you need to conform and just do all things decently in order, or else you're going, in that moment, or according to whatever the disposition is, whether if it's a person you dealing with, people you dealing with, or a moment that you may be in, or a moment that you may be in with people, you need to take heed to whatever you know, meaning do it. You see, so if you know these things, all these examples ones gave, happy are ye if you do them. Example.
Malcolm Butler, who almost made the phenomenal play that wound up in Percy's arms. There are flags on the field for celebration. Amazing. Butler, a rookie free agent out of West Alabama.
They try to pick play out. They tried to go here, but he beats him to the punch. And I'm sorry, but I can't believe the call. I cannot believe the call. You've got Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. You've got a guy that's been borderline unstoppable in this part of the field. I can't believe the call.
And there is Brady.
So yeah, man. That's pretty much the moment. That's why this is critical. You probably may know you need to be doing the work, or brother broke it down to you or whatever. You know how you need to go about it to get it done. But yeah, you don't take heed to knowing like, yeah, I know. So you just deal with the fucking repercussions, man. And that go for all of us. You know?
Carroll, many fans believe that his controversial play call at the end of the Super Bowl cost his team the game. So we traveled to Seattle to talk to the coach about that play, the scrutiny he's under, and how he's coping with it all.
Tell me a little bit about what it's been like to be Pete Carroll over these times.
I want some more of that. What are you doing?
The worst result. Just average Joe say, it was the worst call ever. It was the worst result of a call ever. The call would have been a great one if we catch it. It would have been just fine. Call ever. It was the worst result. It was the worst call ever. It was the worst result of a call ever. The call would have been a great one if we catch it. It would have been just fine. Nobody would have thought twice about it.
I want some more of that. What are you doing? Well, we've got more. We've got more. Yeah, give him a lot of credit for sitting down.
Yeah.
And answering questions, because this has got to be a really, really tough time.
What
else did he say? Why didn't he run the ball?
See that? So yeah, if you know it's something you shouldn't be dealing with, but you don't take heed to that and you try to deal with it and just attempt and try, deal with the fucking repercussions, man. You know, this is in the scriptures. I got one more and we're gonna close out. So yeah.
Curry lets it go. 54 seconds of play. Time out. 59-50. And that's a three. He has 20. Got a chance to touch it.
Let's take a look at the last scores by Stephen Curry. That time he just loses Brandon Rush again. Trading the quickness of Robinson for the length of Rush, and he ultimately hurt Rush maybe longer. But if he doesn't get there in time,
What kind of defense is this Kansas is using now? Looks like a boxing one leg. Fouls him. Steph Curry. He's a sharpshooter playing with heart and emotion. Now Curry steps back off the dribble. Big time player. Steph Curry.
remember, take a look at his parents right there, pushing him on. Stephen Curry was a point guard in high school. He's handling the point right now. Jason Richards gets a blow. And Barnes taking the third position, and Curry is just starting to take Kansas out.
Curry lets it go. Fires it. 54 seconds of play. Time out. 59-57. Red hot. Ball lines up in the corner on the baseline. Here's Curry. He may not give this up. Pick and roll. Curry. 6 to go. Frees himself. Curry. 4 to go. Punts. Kicks it out. Richards. It's over. Kansas holds on. And the Jayhawks are heading to the Final Four.
Wow. Why did Stephen Curry keep off the ball for one? Secondly, the way he's been able to go behind his back, penetrate, you wonder what they were thinking. You take a look here. Replay situation.
And look at the defense by Kansas.
Well, not Richard, but ball in the hands. Curry gives it back. And I'll tell you what, again, Curry has the ball. He's got the ability to go behind the back, picks up his dribble, and that's what hurt him. Davidson looking for a miracle.
You told us what you want, and we built it for you.
So yeah, man. Hey, man. You're going to end up doing what Steph Curry did that moment. Steph Curry gave the ball up. He's a sharpshooter, big-time player, as they said. He was hot. He could pull up from anywhere. He could have went behind his back, but yet, and he knew he had the hot hand. That dude probably in basketball, if you ain't got a rhythm already going, it's pretty much, you can't just, that ain't how it really works. You know what I'm saying? Unless you depended on miracles. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's just, you know, you got to take heed to what you know, man. You know, because if you don't, you're just going to deal with the repercussions. In that moment, he know he's a shooter. He's hot. All he needs is a quick screen. He going to get it off. Hell, if I'm him, I'm rather me take it. I got to take heed. Like, I'm hot. I got the green light. Everybody expected me to shoot it, even if I miss. I got a better chance, you know, just off how hot I am and how well I've been playing in this entire tournament, you know, than to get a ball up. But, you know, you live and you learn. You take heed to what you know, or else deal with the repercussions. And sometimes you don't get to come back from. Everybody you don't get a situation they can learn from and make it out of. Some situations can get you killed. You shouldn't have hit the block that night. Now my man's dead. See? So sometimes you can't always bounce back from learning and all that. Nah, you know. So Lord, when it's been edifying, we'll close out. Give our honor, praise, and glory to the Heavenly Father, name of his son. We'll be back later. In the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Till next time, Shalom.